Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. This is Rusty78609. I'm just leaving Smoky's Country Market in Capitan, New Mexico, and we're going to go on a day trip. And I'll probably do 2 or 3 videos on this day trip. Why? Because I want to. And but yeah, we're going to head to Cloudcroft because it occurred to me that I haven't had a Dave's Bacon Club sandwich in a long time, and it's 68 miles to Cloudcroft, and I'm driving my Hyundai 2012 with 110,000 miles on it, getting 28 miles per gallon, so we'll be okay on that. And so it'll take me 68 miles. You got to go through Ruidoso, so that delays you a little bit. So it'll take at least, for me, an hour and a half to 2 hours. Why? Because I ain't in no hurry. I don't have an appointment. You know what I mean? All I want to do is enjoy the day. This is a day trip, chill out trip. I think everybody ought to take them whenever they can, because it makes you just feel good all over. And then I'll get back in time for beer 30. But for my trip, I have my usual mix of dark chocolate, almonds, and walnuts and stuff. That's part of the snack. And then on the way out, you know, the checkout, they always have this impulse stuff, the candies and stuff. For some reason, my hand was compelled to reach out and grab me a Snickers candy bar. Can you believe it? And it wouldn't let go. My hand would not let go. So I got me a Pepsi, a Snickers, some dark chocolate almonds, not almonds, it's all almonds, I guess. But we're on our way. This is Highway 48. Beautiful day. Straight ahead is the snow-capped mountains of Ruidoso, Ski Apache. Have I ever driven up there? Yep. I went all the way one time. Yeah, I went halfway a couple of times. Yeah, I get goosey on those narrow mountain roads with no thing on the side, no rail. So, yeah, we'll cruise along and chat on the way, and who knows what we're going to talk about. But I'm going to have a swaller of my Diet Pepsi. What I did, I just put some ice in a big cup that I had, a big styrofoam cup, and then I went in the store and bought me one of those big liters of Pepsi, Diet Pepsi. Why did I do that? Because you can get a liter of Diet Pepsi for $1.25. If you went into a little quick stop or a 7-Eleven, it costs you $2 or more. But anyway, so here's to you, here's to me. Nothing like a day trip. I woke up this morning, I was going to do 15 things. You know what I mean? I was going to go over to Oliver Lee and the motorhome and spend the night. That was one option. And the second option was do nothing, just sit around there and read books outside on my patio, built by Rocky the Rock out of Carlsbad, New Mexico, a couple of years ago, or whenever it was, a long time ago, I tell you that. But be that as it may, here we go. And where am I at on the tiny home? Well, actually nowhere. What it is, where I'm checkmated on this deal, I haven't got a formal price. I've got some estimates, you know what I mean? But that's not the biggest concern for me. The biggest concern is that no one really wants to take the, quote, bull by the horns and do the whole thing. You know what I mean? Like be the total builder all the way through, or at least I haven't heard that result yet. And I ain't gonna do it. That's out. I've been down that trail. I have been down that trail. And no. So we'll see. But right now it's probably, I think I'm just what you call checkmated. Until something breaks loose, we'll just see what happens. Does it matter? Not really. I mean, I've got a comfortable Class C motorhome that I've been in for going on 2 years, or year and a half anyway. And so away we go, guys, to Cloudcroft. And then what I'm going to do there, I'll do this video, the driving video on the way, kind of the primer. And then when I get to Cloudcroft, of course, I'll do a little driving video of the area, downtown area, before I stop and go into Dave's and get me a club sandwich to go, and I may eat some of it or not, depending on how hungry I am after eating all this crap I brought with me. So yeah, and then we'll cruise out. That'll be another video. This will be Saturday's video. In Cloudcroft will probably be Sunday's video, and then Monday I'll show you my old home place there. I'm going to drive out to that quote RV village or whatever they call it, about 5 miles out of Cloudcroft on the way to Mayhill, where I actually owned a home there. And I didn't live in it long, about 2 months or whatever it was, and sold it. And that's typical of me. That's my lifestyle. You know, if I check something out and it ain't what I want to do, boom, change. Why? Because, guys, it's getting a little narrow at the top of the mountain here. And so I want to be sure that what I'm doing is something that I'm enjoying. Like I enjoy doing what I'm doing right now, driving down this highway at 45 miles an hour. Absolutely no hurry, no traffic either. And yeah, just chill out and enjoy the view, man. There's some beautiful mountain views on the way. I'll stop at the Apache on the reservation. They have a gas station there, and that's probably going to be the cheapest gas in the area. Not by much. Usually it's a nickel cheaper. You know, hell, you know, if you need gas and you can save a nickel, I guess do it. So that's the plan. And the man from Capitan on his way to another place. But yeah, if you're in the human race, it's not a race. Maybe for individually a race, but for the whole world population of humanity, it's just another day. The human race. I don't know why we call it that, but we do. You know, it doesn't mean race like racing horses. It means like a species of race. But moving along, isn't it pretty though, this drive? I love it, man. This is just, you know, this area for me is such a break from the home base in Texas, Fort Clark Springs, near Del Rio, Texas, and the Texas-Mexico border, that it's just really nice. I mean, it makes a nice division, you know. You know, if I had the money, would I have 3 or 4 home bases? I don't know. I don't know. That's an interesting question. It would certainly add variety. Where would I have them? Well, I'd have the 2 I have now, and need one about 4,000 feet. That would be Alpine, Texas is 4,500. That's a pretty area. Yeah, that might be an option. And then yeah, that'd be a good one too, because that'd be kind of like midway coming and going here. And yeah, that'd work. But it ain't cheap there. No. You find a home base there with you know, that you can park an RV on. You ain't gonna find one in town. They don't allow that. But outside the city, the land is mostly developed for subdivisions. You might be able to find an acre or 2, but it's going to be a little pricey. And then you got to get water and electric and all that crap. So, and then where else? You know, you always got Colorado, Nevada, Arizona, and places that I don't know a whole lot about, because I've been to them several times, but never with the idea of getting a home base. But here we go, guys. Saturday morning. It's about not quite 10 a.m. right now. My ETA Cloudcroft will be 11:30ish maybe, in that range, just in time to order me some food to go, because I'll call it in. That way you don't have to stand in the line to place your order. And yeah, they're good. It's a good little place. If you're ever in Cloudcroft, it's right there on Burrow Street or whatever it's called, that main street there where all the little shops are. Yeah, it's called Dave's something. And yeah, they open at 7 a.m. On Saturdays, I think during the week, or during this, you know, during the season, so to speak. They open early and catch a breakfast crowd. So yeah, they do pretty good, and they're really efficient, man. I mean, they you know, when you get your order, and you know, they got that the system set up, it's pretty quick. Does that matter? No, not to me. I ain't in a hurry. So what else can I tell you guys? Let's see. Tiny home, light on, light off. I don't know. It's on a rheostat. You know, you can dim it. You know, you can turn it on bright or dim it. It's a rheostat home, and we'll see. But yeah, it's a typical thing. I ran into the same thing in Atlanta when I was trying to build. But enough said about that. Hell, that's old news. I'm tired of talking about it. Either the switch will go on or it'll go all the way off. But while that's happening, I'm still living. I ain't waiting on it. Got my new glasses on, got my new windshield to look through, and I haven't even had a real good bug splatter yet, but just because I said that, we'll probably get a grasshopper that weighs about 6 pounds hit the windshield, or a bird or something. But no, it's nice. I mean, I don't have those chips right in the view, and yeah, it's nice. It's a nice car. It's nice and quiet. Oh, I did find out too. You know, there is a check engine light, and I've been saying all along that it was an O2 sensor. It ain't. What it is, I went by and talked to the guy that's going to fix it yesterday, Friday, and he said no, it's got, there's a little I don't know, it's not a valve, it's a little something that moves in the exhaust pipe or system somewhere, and there's a sensor or condenser or something that turns it on and off, and he's got one on order. It just hadn't come in yet, and I don't know where he ordered it from, but supposedly it'll be in this next week, and he'll get it done this following Saturday, because he didn't want to do it during the week when he's busy with paying customers, so to speak, since he's going to do this job for free, because he's the guy that sold me the car. He made enough. He's happy. You know, nothing like a good old Diet Pepsi and some chocolate almonds. Yeah, we'll let this go a few minutes. Why? Because we ain't got nothing else to do, man. Pretty dry, man. I mean, this is really nice, man. Right through the mountains of New Mexico near Ruidoso. Hell yeah. I mean, nothing but the best for you guys. Nothing but the absolute best. Very scenic drive, I guarantee you. I mean, you know, people always want to build on the top of a mountain or a hill, and for obvious reasons of the view. But the other reason that they don't really talk much about is the wind. When you're up on top of a mountain and the wind is blowing 50 miles an hour, jeez, I don't know, man, because they do get some winds out here in these mountains. But we're cruising along. Yeah, I got that Pepsi in that big bottle, and now I don't have a place to put it. It's rolling everywhere. Shit. The best laid plan, you know? Except for that one thing, it was perfect. But I do have behind the seats, I have a thing behind the front seat and the driver's seat that will allow me to stick it in these things if I can get it in there. Now watch me go off the side of this mountain with this Pepsi bottle in my hand. I'll hit the bottom, I'll get it in there, damn it. So, and we'll wait on that. That wasn't a good plan to do it now. Yeah, because I can't get my hand in the right position to get the Pepsi bottle in the seat back holder or seat thing. Right lane ends. What lane am I in? The right lane. And you know, that's, you know, in a place like this where there's very little traffic, not a problem. Just move right on over at your leisure. But when you're in a city, how about this? The loop around Atlanta, Georgia, for those of you that have been there, I think is 6 lanes. 6, S-I-X, 6. Okay, I was in the wrong lane, like the 4th lane over, and I see a sign that says, you know, my turn was like 1 mile ahead. So I turned my blinker on. Half a mile goes by. I haven't moved over hardly at all. I haven't moved over at all. You know, but finally I moved, and then finally, hell, I just dove for it. You know what I mean? And I was pulling an RV, but I made it, knock on wood. Because if you miss your exit, sheesh, you know, hell, you may be on that loop the rest of your life. You know, you could die out there. So here we go, down the mountain, run boy run. Devil's in the house of the rising sun. We're averaging 28.7, and that was coming up the mountain. So yeah, that's pretty, yeah, and actually that's pretty close, because I've done 3 manual checks of the mileage, and it shows that a 3 manual check of the miles per gallon average is 28, or it's 29.7 or something, or excuse me, 27.7. Get it right, Rusty, get it right. And yeah, they got that sign there that says safety zone or something. All fines are doubled. wouldn't every area on the highway be a safety zone? You know what I mean? You'd want people to drive safely. You got me? Anyway, I think too much. In fact, a guy told me that. A professor told me that one time at St. Mary's University. He said, you have a finely tuned analytical mind, but you think too much. Well, it's okay with me. I mean, I've learned to live with it. Well, what it is, I mean, that's why I change so much. And sometimes people that stutter are the people that just are such quick thinkers that their brain is ahead of their mouth, you know, and they go, you know, they can't get it all out fast enough, you know. You know, the printer's too slow. The computer's super fast, but the printer just ain't getting it. Isn't this pretty though? Yeah, we'll let this go all the way through, and then for those of you that like long driving videos, you can watch it. And yeah, because I don't care. Jeez. And YouTube doesn't care either. I mean, I can do an hour-long video if I want to, just driving down the highway. I never have, because I like to eat my chocolate almonds and relax, chill out. But gasoline here, I guarantee it's $4.19. Yep, $4.19 a gallon. I mean, and it'll be $4.19 a gallon all the way through town, out the other side. Every station. That's your Shell station. $5.39 for diesel. Wow. Why is diesel so high? Because militaries use diesel. Is there a large military on the move now? Well, let me think. Maybe. Does our military use a lot of diesel? Whoop, yep. And natural gas prices have doubled. I just talked to a lady yesterday that lives in my neighbor, and she uses natural gas for heating in the cold weather and cooking. And yeah, her bill has doubled. Well, I think I'm going to go this way. I'm going to go down Gavilan Canyon Road. Why? So I don't have to go through right downtown. And we haven't been on this road. The Alto Cafe, it must be great food because they're always crowded. That's it right there on the right. And then this little road here, it's actually, I don't know that it's really all that much shorter than going through downtown. It's just not quite as much traffic. And this is a Saturday morning, and the season is, quote, starting. So we'll just cruise down here. You're going to see a lot of pine trees, I'll guarantee you that. This is Lincoln National Forest, I believe. May get to see some elk and some wild horses too. Maybe, and then maybe not. I don't want to see the wild horses on the hood. I wouldn't mind seeing them at a distance. You remember when you were a kid, it seemed like every book you read started with, once upon a time, there was this or that lived in a tree house. You know what I mean? Once upon a time, there was a person that lived in a matchbox RV. It was 1 inch square. I mean, they do live in some really small places. I mean, I've done it too. The Prius wasn't exactly a motorhome. Well, it was for me at that time. I am going exactly 40 miles an hour. The speed limit on this road is 35 miles an hour, but you'd never know it because if you go 35 miles an hour, people will run right over you or get right on your bumper. And I've got New Mexico plates. Now, if you have Texas license plates in New Mexico, they always say, another damn Texan. God dang, don't know how to drive me in the mountain. The way I drive in the mountains is pretty much like everywhere. I try to stay on the pavement. Yeah, I may do some trips coming up in a week or so in the motorhome. Where? I'm not sure. I may go over to Elephant Butte because I like the kind of the unrestricted views there, like in Carrizozo and the Flatlands. And yeah, I've got a week reserved there with water and electric, which I've paid for. So I may go do that. And then I also have a week at Pancho Villa with water and electric paid for. So I may do 2 weeks of those just for the heck of it. Because variety is the spice of life. You can go camping out there on the left. It's a forest road. You can do what is called dispersed camping. I'm going to have me one of my almonds. Delicious. Temperature shows to be 62. Boy, I'm telling you, the weather forecast for the morning temperature in Capitan is never right. I'm glad I bought that indoor-outdoor temperature gauge. At least I know what it is, and I can watch it go down at night, so that when it gets near freezing, when I get up to pee, I can let the water drip. Not only my water, but the RV water. So the hose doesn't freeze. Isn't this nice though? I mean, if you just drive slow on this road, Gavilan, what is it? Gavilan Canyon Road. It's a really a pretty drive. And it comes out right close to Highway 70, which goes toward Cloudcroft. Gas prices have come down a little bit. And I was in Carrizozo a couple of days ago, or whenever it was, and it was $4.16. That's a start. Georgia, sweet Georgia. This does look like it around Atlanta, Georgia, because they've got places there with a lot of pine trees. I stayed in Cumming, Georgia for, I don't know, a couple of months one time doing some work for a gas company, checking gas pipelines for leaks using it's called a sniffer. It's an electronic device. has a little cable with a head on it, a little plastic head that you walk and drag on the ground, and if it picks up any escaping gas, well, any kind, methane, natural gas, or anything, it'll give you a beep, and then you start pinpointing where that gas is coming from. Are there a lot of gas leaks? Not a whole lot, but in the older part of cities where they've used the steel pipe or the cast iron stuff years ago, oh God, man, leak city. Yeah, I've been in areas, Waco, Texas, where whole blocks were nothing but a leak. Yeah, I think I mentioned this before. Whenever you have a natural gas leak, say from the street up to your meter on your house, that pipe there, the escaping gas takes all the oxygen with it, and natural gas rises up because it's lighter than air. But as it moves up through the soil, it takes the oxygen with it, and your grass, that area, it dies. And you think you've got chinch bugs or something, and what you've got is a natural gas leak. And particularly you can spot them if it's kind of a half moon shape in your yard, you know what I mean? That's coming from the street. Yeah, I got to where I didn't even have to use the sniffer. I'd say, well, there's a leak right there. And I'd drive my little probe in the ground, and you had this thing you could poke a hole in the ground. I mean, you could poke a hole in the pavement, actually. And then you put this sniffer down in there, and it would register a number. I know you want to know this, but yeah. But whenever you saw that half moon or quarter moon, I saw a guy one time, and this was near Waco, Texas. He just so happened to be out there. He was fertilizing and watering, his grass, and he was working real hard. He said, man, he said, I said, what's wrong with your yard? He said, oh, I've got chinch bugs. I said, I'll tell you what you got. You got a natural gas leak, because look at this meter, you know, beep, 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 you know. So, moving right along here on Gavilan Road. What else can I tell you? Yeah, that was a kind of a fun job, because you were independent. They paid you a per diem. I could live comfortably off the per diem, and my salary, or God, it just built up in the bank. That's what enabled me to retire a little early. Well, of course, I was already pretty retired. I was retired doing that job, actually, because there was no one out there. I mean, you were on your own. You'd go from state to state, to county in those states, and yeah, you were free as a bird. You know, they give you maps and away you'd go out in the field and do your own thing. Another downside of this road, Gavilan, Hidden Canyon Road, is occasionally you get in some really slow traffic, but unfortunately they are actually going the speed limit. It just seems slow because the speed limit is 35. Anyway, guys, I think I will end the video now. This will be the Saturday video, the Dooner, and then tomorrow you can see Cloudcroft, and if I run across anything else interesting, we'll do Cloudcroft, and then we'll do that place that I lived in last year, or I bought and sold. So having said that, guys, from Gavilan Road in Ruidoso, New Mexico, thumbs up, carpe diem. Carpe diem means seize the day in Latin. Carpe diem, adios, bye, buy anything you want anytime. But if you think about it, use the link to Amazon products in the description of all of my videos. Doesn't cost you a penny. Just click on the link and go. Stand guard at the door of your mind. Don't watch the news. Enjoy your life. Keep your health. Adios. Bye. Bye-bye.